2025 is fast approaching and Jeep realizes that now is the time to do something to revive the fortunes of the Meridian. This 3-row SUV has been on the market for a while now, but it's yet to draw in buyers the way Jeep originally envisioned. And now Jeep has come out with the model year 2025 update for the Meridian. Some things have changed and some things have not. So what's new? You're going to find out in our first look video. My name is Amaan Ahmed and you're watching Car and Bike. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to Car and Bike and hit the bell icon so you're notified every time we come out with a new video. Now let's take a closer look at the MY2025 Jeep Meridian. So what I'm standing next to right now is probably the biggest change with the 2025 Jeep Meridian. This is a brand new base variant of the SUV. And its defining feature is that it is not a 3-row version, it's a 2-row version only. The third row of seats has been deleted. But before we jump into the vehicle, let me tell you what's different on the outside. So as you can see, the face of the Meridian still looks the same. I still think this is a handsome looking SUV and it didn't really need much in the way of changes. It still looks fairly imposing, but you will notice that it does not have fog lights because those have been deleted from the base variant. But otherwise, the face is like pretty much any other Meridian that you've seen so far. Another important change is that this variant can only be had in single tone colors, so you cannot get it with a contrast roof. And the mirrors are also body colored and not finished in black. But the wheels remain exactly the same as before. Now let's jump inside to see what the Meridian's base variant is like over there. So as you can see, I'm inside the base Jeep Meridian and the interior feels more or less the same as that of any other Meridian before this. You still have the 10.1-inch touchscreen infotainment system. You still get automatic climate control. But what has changed is the instrument cluster. You now get a semi-digital and semi-analog instrument cluster, which I think looks nice. I'm not a huge fan of full digital instrument displays. The steering wheel is also the same. The only difference is here you do not get leather wrapping. This is just a regular steering wheel. You've got your controls on the left side, you've got the controls for the infotainment, you've got audio controls on the back of the right spoke, and the right spoke itself has a few dummy buttons. Also, because this is the base variant, you only get a manually adjustable IRVM. This is not an auto dimming unit. The gear lever for the manual transmission, as you can see, is really nice. It feels nice to hold as well. You've got cup holders and you've got pretty much everything that you would need. But the seats, the upholstery is a little different. This is part fabric and part leatherette. And of course, these are not powered, so they only feature manual adjustment. In terms of the rear seat remains exactly the same as before. You still do not have a sliding mechanism. But because there isn't a third row in this one, you can recline without feeling guilty about robbing the rearmost passengers of space. And of course, this variant does not get a sunroof, so you have no sunroof in here whatsoever. But in terms of safety, this variant is also pretty well equipped. You still get 6 airbags and you get all-wheel disc brakes. But I am a little confused as to why this variant does not have rear seat belt reminders, because that is present on the other variants of the Meridian, but it's missing from this one. And now let me talk about the missing third row. Because the third row is gone, you now get 670 liters of boot space. That is more than enough for most airport runs. And I have a feeling that Jeep is really targeting fleet buyers with this particular variant. One thing to note is that this will only be available in this exact specification. So you cannot get the base variant with 7 seats. You can only have it with 5 seats. If you want more features than you get on the base variant of the Meridian, you will have to go for the Longitude Plus. Now the Longitude Plus gives you a little more in the way of choice because you can have it with a dual tone exterior. You can have it with fog lights. You also get a leather wrapped steering wheel, a wireless phone charging pad and a panoramic sunroof, which I know will be a big selling point for a lot of people. But remember that the Longitude Plus can only be had as a 3-row vehicle, so you will have to get the third row of seats whether you like it or not. And with all 3 rows of seats up, you know that boot space is still around 180 liters. If you fold down the third row, you end up with around 481 liters, which is still less than what you get on the 5-seat model. And the usability of that third row still remains questionable because there's not a lot of room back there and it doesn't feel particularly comfortable. After that, you get the limited O variant. Now this variant was there available previously as well, and it has a lot more features than you get on the Longitude and Longitude Plus. But what's new for 2025 is the upholstery, because it's a new option and it looks rather nice. And the other change is the availability of a connected app suite. So you can get a smartphone app through which you can control a lot of functions on the SUV. You can remotely start the vehicle, you can activate the air conditioning so that it is pre-cooled before you need to head out, and it also features Alexa integration, which is a neat touch. And then comes the range-topping overland variant. In addition to the connected features, it also gets advanced driver assistance systems. So it now employs a camera and radar-based system, and you get features such as adaptive cruise control, autonomous emergency braking, lane departure warning, lane keep assist, blind spot detection, and driver attention alert. But apart from that, the overland variant stays practically the same as before. In terms of powertrains, the Meridian remains unchanged. You still get the 2-liter diesel engine, and your transmission options are also the same as before, a 6-speed manual and a 9-speed automatic. But remember that the Longitude and Longitude Plus can only be had in 2-wheel drive form. The 4-wheel drive system is only available on the Limited O and the Overland. Here is a look at the prices of the MY2025 Meridian. So that was a quick first look at the MY2025 Jeep Meridian. I feel like Jeep could have taken this opportunity to make this SUV a little more exciting, a little more appealing to buyers in this segment. But what do you think of the changes? Do you think this will now be more attractive to those possibly looking at a more premium C segment SUV? And do you think the 5-seat model could finally bring in those buyers who were probably shying away from buying the Meridian? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. If you have any feedback for us, we'll be happy to hear it. If you have any feedback for Jeep regarding the Meridian, do leave that in the comments too. If you enjoyed watching this video, found it informative, then remember to give us the thumbs up. And if you know somebody who'd be interested in the MY2025 Meridian, then remember to share this video with them.